already have to like tiptoe around men's fragile egos, not get killed. I'm not doing that in a marriage. Like, thank you for this comment. So this whole like divine feminine thing of like, oh, I'm gonna make myself get in touch with my divine feminine so that a man can lead me. Besides all the reasons I've already gone over in the last video as to how unbelievably messed up that is. It is more emotional labor. We already have to do so much emotional labor. And I'm gonna tag one of my mutuals who wrote an amazing book called Emotional Labor. It breaks all this down about just how exhausting it is to be a woman having to literally center men's feelings and their shame and being mad about themselves. We already have to do that in literally every environment. At work, we have to tiptoe around the fragile ego of our bosses who are usually men, not always. Sometimes women can act like this too, but it's usually this men. They're so threatened by women and they're so jealous of women that we have to make ourselves small so that we don't intimidate them. One of my best friends is one of the most direct people I have ever met, and she's super confident too. And the mental gymnastics that she has to do so that men don't feel threatened by her is exhausting. At work, out in the world. And you know, I grew up in the South. This is my wheelhouse. Manipulating men to get what I want by making them feel good about themselves. That is literally what I was trained to do as a white woman in the South. And that, you know, but now all these dating coaches are calling that divine feminine. There's nothing divine about that. If that's what femininity is, no thank you. I don't want to be that. We have to smile at men. I still catch myself doing this. Every time a man makes a terrible joke, especially a man that I don't know, and they always do it. When I'm riding my bike, they'll be like, oh, good job. They congratulate me whenever I do amazing things, as if I need their approval. When I'm at the top of a climb, 1,000 feet in the air, some douchebag come up behind me, a man who has 20 years less experience of climbing as me, and be like, wow, great anchor. Thank you. I really needed your approval. As if you assume you're better than me and you're shocked that I might be better than you, and I'm like, Now I just look at them. I've learned to just be like, what do you mean by that? But it's my default is to laugh at their stupid jokes, reward them for their unwanted attention and all this crap, mostly so that I don't die, but also because I was raised under patriarchy, and especially in the South, what is literally about protecting the male ego. We gotta make the king baby feel good about himself. We don't want him to feel bad, because then we can't manipulate him if he feels bad. Literally everything that I was taught by boomer generation is to protect the male ego at all costs, even if that means giving my body to that person. I'm over it. We still have to do this out in the world to not get killed. We still have to do this in some work environments because we know that men with power who feel threatened by us could ruin our careers. And so it is so exhausting to literally have to deal with every single man, whether I know them or they're complete strangers, with kid gloves. I will be damned. You could not pay me to date a man that I have to do that with too. I'm not doing that. And that's why it's like, what? These dating coaches are literally asking us to do with our most intimate relationships, with the man that we're supposed to feel the safest with, to now treat him as if his sense of safety, which is really his ego, is more important than our own. This is these dating coaches, whether they're men or women, it's the audacity of men to teach women how to date by getting in touch with their divine feminine so they can be led by men who are the worst leaders ever, by the way. They're terrible leaders, with the exception of a few. Never met men who are better leaders than women. And I say that as a professional guide, kept people alive for a living in the outdoors, and are reckless, ego-driven, and don't care about the needs of other people, or definitely can't anticipate them because they don't want to or don't think to. That is not good leadership. And so I'm supposed to submit to men and make myself small and make myself stupid, make myself not as funny, not as fill in the blank as this man. For what? So he can feel good about himself? Insecure men are the most dangerous people on the planet. If you have to do all of that to be with a man, that's because he's insecure. And an insecure man will ruin your life and might even take it. A confident man does not need you to be small, doesn't need you to submit. A partnership is about two people who have their own strengths, but they're partners. Neither one of them is leading. And even the ones where the women are pretending to lead, they're still leading. You have to convince a man that if something is his idea, you're actually leading, but you're leading by manipulation. You're leading by protecting his ego. He's not a leader. He's a phony. He's a fake. You're the leader, but are afraid to be one because you need so badly to be loved and so badly to be picked by a man that you will make yourself small so that he can pretend to be big. That you cannot have love on that foundation. That is not love. Making yourself small so a man can feel big is never about love. Go get some help for codependency. Look up the word limerence, but that ain't love. Orc, divine feminine and masculine. These dating coaches are full of crap, and they're preying on your need as a woman to feel safe. And if you're faking anything in order to be in a relationship, you already aren't safe, baby. You're in danger. You just don't know it yet.